Hey there, this is Tom Buford, and I'm going to share article marketing tips with you, how to write short articles for a big effect, and I'm going to cover 7 steps to building traffic with article marketing. I think one of the big concerns that people have when they consider article marketing is that they have to write really long, extensive articles, and the key really is to write short, concise articles, submit them online to an online article directory, and then your articles, from your article, what you want to do is you want to get people over to your website. So you keep the article short, to the point, and then to direct them over to your website to learn more about that topic. So let's jump in, and the one resource, and I'll share it with you in a second, but I use easingarticles.com to submit my articles, and it keeps me focused. I'm not worried about submitting them, my articles to multiple directories. You can do that, but Easing Articles is one of the most powerful article directories out there, and it's great to use, very simple to use, and I'm going to show you how in just a couple of minutes. So the first thing you want to do is identify your topic and keywords. You want to identify your topic and your keywords. So your topic, of course, if you're writing or creating an information product right now, that's your topic. So is it weight loss? Is it how to show people how to stay organized, or how to train their dogs, how to raise healthy children, whatever it is. And I'm actually going to use the dog training as an example here in a second, because then after you have your topic, you want to select keywords. Once you select some keywords, and a keyword or a key phrase is simply the word or phrase that somebody would type in Google or Yahoo search to find more information on your topic. And there is you can do research online to find out what kind of traffic certain keywords or phrases are getting, and the kind of competition out there. Now, I've had several thousand clicks on my articles and links back to my website just with article marketing, and you can too, but you've got to use keywords that people are searching for. All right. You can go to AdWords.com, and you can do some keyword research. Now, don't get too carried away with this right now. This can get pretty overwhelming. You want to use some intuition, and you want to get the articles going. But I'm going to show you what you can do real quick using AdWords.com. And I went to AdWords.com and I typed in dog training tips and found that there were 18,100 searches over a 30-day period. So let me go over to that page real quick. And this is AdWords.com, and all you do, you go to AdWords.com, and you don't have to sign in. When you go to the main page, there's going to be a spot where you could enter your Google information, your Google account, a Gmail account or something. You don't have to do that. Just scroll down, and you'll see a link for Keyword Tool. So just click on Keyword Search, and then you type in your phrase. And I'm going to do dog training tips. I'm going to hit search, and if you come to the page for the first time, there will be a CAPTCHA code or phrase that you're going to have to put in here as well. And then once you come back to the site, you won't have to do that until you leave the site. But as long as it's up, you can continue to put in multiple searches. All right, so I put dog training tips, and you can see here over here on the right, global monthly searches 18,100. So that's pretty good, and it shows here graphically that there's not a lot of competition, which is good as well. Down here you can see 823,000. This is for dog training. That's a little broader. There's going to be a lot more competition in terms of numbers, so it'll be harder for you to get your articles seen and on Google. But this is still an indication. Now, this is just Google, but this is still an indication that these are pretty popular key phrases. So if you were to write articles on dog training tips or dog training, then it's pretty easy to assume that, okay, that means other people are looking for this kind of content for their websites. They're looking to have articles. They're looking for articles online, and Easing Articles is a great place to find it. So when you submit your articles to Easing Articles, not only can that article begin going up in the ranks on Google, in other words, you can start getting a good page ranking just for that article, because Easing Articles is such a powerful player in the market, and I'll go into showing you Easing Articles here in a second. But it's just it's a powerful way for you to get traffic to your business. So you want to look and do a little bit of keyword research and find a handful of key phrases that you could use. You don't necessarily want to go with these big phrases because now there's a lot of competition. You can. Some people would say go with that. I'd rather say, I'm going to go with this dog training tips, and I'm just going to try to dominate this and write articles very consistently on this particular key phrase, knowing that I'll probably have a pretty good chance of having my articles read and getting a lot of traffic over to my website. And then you can also start getting into this as well, but it'll take a little longer. But here also you can see dog obedience training, 40,000 searches. That's fantastic. And so this gives you some ideas, and you might come up with ideas that you'd never thought of. You can see here 4,000 searches for aggressive dog training. Well, that'd be pretty good. And this is something where people are probably needing something right away. So if they're searching for aggressive dog training, this is something, hey, they need to get this taken care of immediately. So this is probably a pretty hot market. Okay, professional dog training. So people are searching for professional dog training. They're probably looking to pay because they're looking for professional dog training. So this is, again, this might be another great key phrase. A little more competitive, probably because it's a very highly monetized key phrase. But still, this gives you a pretty good idea. But let's just run with dog training tips and get back to the PowerPoint here. So there's plenty of traffic. This is something you could build on with your articles. So you want to write short articles on your topic. Keep it 400 to 500 words or so. This is one page in a Word document with a 12-point font, roughly. Okay, so give or take, if you can write one page on your topic with some tips about how to train dogs, how to eat healthy, how to grow organic food, whatever it is that you do with your marketplace, with your clients, you can write one-page article, submit it to Easing Articles. So make sure that you stay focused initially, stick with one topic and just a couple keywords or key phrases that you've done a little bit of research on. Then you want to use your keywords in your title. So use the targeted keywords in your title. So in this case, dog training tips. So it could be dog training tips, 5 simple steps to get your dog to stay or to sit or to heel. Whatever you want to do here. And you could change this around. 7 incredibly simple dog training tips. So you see I'm using dog training tips in the article headline. That way this will get picked up when people are searching on the article directories. It's a lot easier for them to find this article. Then the next step, you want to set up a free account at easingarticles.com. Next, you create a short signature line that links back to your website. When you create a signature line, you don't have to rewrite that every time you write an article. So if you're writing articles on dog training tips and you have a free report or an audio or something on your website that is more detailed steps on how to train your dog, then you would just create a signature line that tells people to learn more information, go here and pick up the free report. So let me show you real quick over at easingarticles.com. You sign up for a free account. You don't have to pay anything to submit articles here. And then you want to go to Submit Articles here on the left-hand side. And what you would do is you just walk through. It's just basically a fill-in-the-blanks template. You're going to select a category. So it could be pets, it could be business. They have all sorts of different categories here, health and fitness. And then you would select a subcategory. So in this case, if we wanted to do pets and dog training, I'd select pets and dogs. Then you put in your title, and remember I created a title over here. So it could be the, pet training tips, whatever your tagline is. Then you just put in a teaser here, a couple sentences. This could be the first couple sentences of your article. That's fine. The first 2 or 3 sentences from your article's body will be used. So that's great. This way people can see, they get a little tidbit of information about your article, and then they can link into the rest of the article. Then you can just cut and paste the entire article right here. You don't need to use the title. You just put everything else in here, and it gives you a word count here. So they're saying between 400 and 5,000 words. This is getting on the larger side, and most people, it's my experience, they're not reading these articles. They're more interested in reading the shorter articles. If they want to learn more, they'll come to your website. This is where you would type in pet training tips, aggressive pet training tips, whatever your keywords are here, and you can use several keywords. But this article, you want to focus on your one hot one right now, and you want to make sure that that's included in your title. You would also include it here as well as some additional keywords. And then this is your signature line. So your signature line again is just going to link people back to, very important, you want to have a link back to your website. Now you can go to Profile Manager and edit author resource boxes. The signature line is also a resource box. And I'm not going to go into great detail here because they can do it much better over here at easingarticles.com. So suffice to say, you could give your resource box a name. So you would type in and say Dog Training Tips 1. And then you would put what you want that resource box to say right here. Okay. Now I've used all of the resource boxes I can. I would have to sign up for a premium account to use more, but I don't need any more resource boxes than what I have. I think I have 5 or so in my account set up. So I can just select one and say, hey, this is an article and I'm talking about social media, so I want to send them over here, or this one's about fee setting, I want to send them over to this place. So you just create your signature box or your resource box, and that's going to link back to your website. But here they have a video on Easing Articles, how to create and utilize the perfect resource box. So just listen to this. This is 4 minutes long, or watch this. 4 minutes on some tips on how to create a really good resource box. Very important feature of your article because it's going to link people back to your website. Okay, and then you can go in here. There's author tools. You can see statistics, overview, article stats, keyword stats, and everything. So you can go in and refine. But right now, just select a keyword, start writing some articles, and get them submitted to Easing Articles, which is step number 6, is submit your articles. Okay, so you set up your free account, you create your signature line, and then you go back, you get your articles that you've written, and you submit your articles to easingarticles.com. And then you want to repeat that 2 to 3 times a week as you speed up your article writing. Initially, it's probably going to take you a little bit longer, but you can, once you get up to speed and you realize it doesn't take very long, really will probably get down where you're writing an article in about 20 or 30 minutes the most. And as long as you have some good topics and ideas, and one thing, and I'll give you a resource, Jeff Herring has a lot of great information on his website on article marketing. That's all that he talks about. But one of the tips that he shares, and other article marketing coaches share, is that you could have, right here, you could take the 7 incredibly simple dog training tips and write 30 to 50 words about each one of these tips. And that's one article. Then you could take tip number 1 and write in more detail. You could go into more detail on that one tip and write a full article on that one. And then step number 2, or tip number 2, you could go into more detail on that. Okay, so then you would take 7 articles plus that first one, that's 8 articles. And so that gives you some great ideas. 5 simple steps to get your dog to stay. You go into more detail on each one of these steps. So you have one article here that's 400 or 500 words, and then you go back into step number 1 and go into more detail on that and write 400 or 500 words on that one step, etc. After you do that, you could take those articles and repurpose those into an information product. So it's a great way to get an additional info product written. Okay, so those are the 7 steps to getting involved in article marketing, and it really can be effective as long as you do it. You have to do it consistently. If you put one article out there and hope it's going to change your business, it's not. But if you did 1 to 2 articles a week, you could see some pretty significant improvements in your business and really get some traffic, as long as you've done a little bit of keyword research to make sure that there is some traffic, some volume of people looking for that, for information on that topic. So again, identify your topic and keywords, write short 400 to 500 word articles on your topic, use your keywords in your title, set up a free account at easingarticles.com, create short signature line that links back to your website, submit your articles, and then repeat that 2 to 3 times. And Easing Articles is simply an Easing directory or article directory. So other people are out there. My articles are found on all sorts of other people's websites because they've gone to Easing Articles, they search for my topic, they see the article, and then they can include it on their website. And it's a great way to get people because they're including that signature line as well, that resource box. Everything has to be included if they do that, the entire article including the resource box. So it gets people back to my website. In addition to that, Easing Articles, as I mentioned before, Easing Articles is a pretty powerful player with the search engines. So your article can actually, the article link itself in Easing Articles can get a really good search engine ranking, so people can do some keyword research even if your website is not ranking. Your articles can rank, and then people click on that article, they read, they hit the resource box, the link back to your website to pick up a free report, and that's how you get traffic. Now, I'm not going to get into all the details, but submitting articles on Easy Articles also provides you with backlinks into your website, so it can improve your search engine optimization. But suffice to say that just writing articles consistently can help your business. And I mentioned a good resource here at jeffherring.com. Jeff Herring is a guru when it comes to article marketing. I really would recommend signing up for his newsletter. You can get a lot of really good free information to help you come up with great ideas for creating new articles. So he has this plug-and-play articles template, which is pretty cool. So he shows you how to create articles very quickly and how to submit them, and he uses a similar format or step-by-step format that I do as well. So that's it. Go to jeffherring.com if you want to learn more, get more in-depth details about article marketing. But this right here, these 7 steps should get you going and getting traffic over to your website. So that's it. Again, this is Tom Buford. Take care and get to writing those articles.